Soup cans.
We are now live streaming.
We're live streaming?
I don't want to live stream. I probably can live stream with our new. Let's give it a shot. What's the worst that happens?
We can't come up with a fake sponsor in time.
Record. Episode 248. 84.
84 sounds more like it.
Record. Oh, I guess I should wait until. Dang it. Alright, ready for the.
No, because we don't have a fake sponsor. Hug shots.
Okay.
No. Don't take the first dumb thing I say. We gotta find a.
This is. You guys on YouTube are getting a behind the scenes look at the Enginerdy Show.
Sneaker speakers. Now you can step to the music.
New from Mama Bird Food Company.
That's not new.
No, we'll have a new one.
Oh, a new one? Like what?
Yeah, that's pork chops. We'd have something different.
Oh.
No. What do we want an actual item of?
Sneaker speakers.
Sneaker speakers? Streaker speakers?
Streaker sneakers.
Hey, now we're talking.
Okay, what's the tagline?
Just because you're naked doesn't mean your feet can't be comfortable.
There you go. That's
right.
Perfect.
We're on in 5, 8, 3, 2,
I'm confused.
1.
Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy Show. This is Mr. Pole.
This is D-Viddy.
And we're here without supervision.
Yay! Our engineer's gone. Sound engineer.
Our producer is gone.
Producer, there you go. Is he the producer?
I think so.
Oh, okay. He doesn't have any programming notes ever for us.
We can be the executive producers.
Okay, that sounds good.
He won't listen to this probably, right?
No, there's no way.
Yeah, St. Jimmy is gone.
Well, he's not. He's just not here.
He isn't passed on. He still walks the earth.
Hopefully. He's going on a hike, so I hope so.
Hopefully, if he's hiking, he's got the new streaker sneakers.
Now, just because you're naked doesn't mean you can't have your comfortable feet.
Something like that. We didn't write it down. Usually we write this down and...
That's what exactly verbatim what St. Jimmy told us to say, so blame him. Send your hate mail for our fake sponsor to fakesponsor@enginerdyshow.stjimmy at UK.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Try it.
You could be pleasantly surprised. So, I played my last softball game.
Ever?
Hopefully. Oh, I mean...
Play next year, maybe I'll play.
Okay. I'll consider it. I'll need to get in shape in the off season. So that
I'm looking for a way to get back into shape.
So I'm not so worn down.
I tried to get back into life with Depends, but that's not what they mean.
The problem is...
It's just a time saver.
See, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, this will help me get in shape. No, because it wears me out so much and wears my body down that I don't do any other exercise.
Right, you got to be in shape before you start.
Yes.
And then you just use that to hone your in shapeness.
Yes.
So we need to do volleyball weekly.
Yes, I've got that in the works.
Excellent.
So I'll keep you informed. There you go.
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned.
Stay tuned for future volleyball announcements.
Probably not on the show.
Not on the show.
Well, maybe we'll talk about it.
We can invite our
listeners.
Yeah.
We don't know how good they are, though.
We should have an Enginerdy con.
Okay, what would that entail? How dressed is your favorite engineer?
Right, we'll have a booth. Maybe in my living room.
Do you want
show up in costume?
Strange people that show up at your house?
Our listeners are going to be strange.
Well, I guess it would fit in with your family.
Would I even notice they're not supposed to be there? I probably just figured they're one of my kids' friends.
That's true. They are mostly bigger than you.
Yes. It's unfortunate. So, you guys had a winning record, right?
We were perfect in that we didn't win one game. Oh man, I had a tough game too.
Did you?
Yeah, I ended the game striking out.
Oh.
But
On purpose?
no,
Just go up there without a bat?
but the last strike that he called, I didn't swing. I didn't think it was a strike at all.
He was just trying to get the game over.
He wanted the game
It
over
was warm.
because he knew we were. As soon as I was out, the game would be over, and then we could leave. So I think that's what happened.
I think so.
But we had a good last inning again. We didn't depend on walking this time.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Usually you want to run the bases to be
I started
successful.
the inning, and then we went all the way through the lineup to me again,
Oh, nice.
and that's when we got out. So
Cool.
yeah, we scored like 7 runs in the last inning. We still were more than 10 points behind the other team, so we got mercy ruled. But we had some good plays.
They went down fighting.
Well, the main problem was they had 2 home runs with bases loaded. So that's 8 points right there. It would have been a lot
grand
more.
slams.
Yeah, they had a couple of those.
Wow, usually that's a once a season deal.
And the other weird thing is their pitcher, I think, was a ringer. I don't remember seeing him the whole season, but he wore this, looked like a motorcycle helmet when he was pitching.
Yeah, once you've been hit in the face with the softball, you probably start.
His first
care
up
of
to
your face.
bat, he hit a home run or a grand slam. His pitches were very interesting. The way he threw them was like.
Oh yeah, I heard they had like all kinds of fake hand motions and stuff.
Something like that, yeah.
And then all of a sudden the ball would come out.
It was insane.
That's weird.
But it's
Some
over.
people take softball way too seriously.
This guy definitely did. Well, when I was
I
playing,
guess pretty good at it, you would,
when I
right?
was playing first base, I could hear him talking to some other guys like, "Yeah, my bats didn't make it through customs one time," and I'm just like, "What the heck? Does this guy play professionally overseas or something?" Anyway,
I was asking your guys' coach if he knew any Mariners for the tournament.
yeah.
So apparently they don't check rosters at the tournament. So
No,
you guys
they
can
don't
totally.
check him ever.
So apparently a team went 0-16 in the regular season and then won a tournament like a couple years ago
Oh, did they?
because they had a bunch of ringers on their team for the tournament.
Well, I won't be there. I'll be out of town, but yeah.
So we think they won.
I also our team did get a home run also,
Nice.
but there was only one person on base.
Oh,
It
that's
was
not
me.
a grand slam. That's just a slam.
Yeah, but it was me, so I didn't have to run to home.
Oh, nice. You just
I
walk
just
back.
got to walk back to the thing.
I still take the bases. Does that make me a jerk?
I was too worn out to take the bases.
I'm taking backwards and then walking the whole way.
In fact,
Trying to high five all the guys.
when I get to first base, I'm usually asking the guy that's first base coaching to run for me. Can I switch you? That's how worn out I get.
Well, that's for. It's not gonna get any better. We keep on having these things called birthdays.
I know, which I did have recently.
Yes, we had a rousing rendition of. What's it called?
Illustration
Illustrations. There you go.
at the birthday party.
Wish I'd taken pictures of some of the pictures with my phone.
I always think that too. I'm like, I should take a picture of my
Yeah, next
artwork
time.
here.
Next time.
Do our listeners know what illustrations is? I'm sure some of them.
I don't know. It's like a game of telephone, but with drawing pictures and guessing what pictures are.
And the worse you are at drawing,
The better
it is.
And more descriptive you can be,
Like our niece.
or more creative the way you could make it look like it could be.
See, what I do is I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's obviously this. What else could it be?
And they made a mistake in this game. They put you and me next to each other.
Yes.
So most things didn't make it through us.
Yeah. I've been told by people that come after me in the game, just stop it. Stop it. Like, what? What am I doing? You know what you're doing.
Yes, excellent.
We also played a game, a Star Trek cooperative game.
That's a fun game,
It was pretty fun. You can have up to 7 players.
which is unusual for a cooperative game.
Yeah, which makes it so you can have more people play.
And if you want the best players, you got to get to 7, because then you get Worf and
Oh yeah,
who was the
Data. No, it wasn't Data.
the
It was
original series guy. Nurse Chapel. I don't know.
Oh, we were just playing TNG. Yeah, you could either play as Next Generation or Original Series. And each character has their own special ability.
I originally saw it on a Geek and Sundry podcast with Will Wheaton. He does a game where they play board games.
Uh-huh.
And they lost their first round. But I think they sound like that practice rounds. And there's one card that makes it so you can't communicate with each other.
Right.
But they tried at one point. Then they decided to throw that out of the game because they were trying to podcast and trying to show how the game works.
Well, so what we decided, that card that says communications out, it only means communicating about what to do next.
But the reason they do the show is to put tabletop games out there to show you an example of people playing and the strategies possibly. I think. So if that's the intent.
Not discussing strategies.
Right. Which is weird because Will Wheaton, apparently another guy that was playing, and other games aren't cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually like nemesis in the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to help each other out. Everyone's like, well, we lost, but at least Will Wheaton didn't win.
Well, the next day my wife and I played it several times.
Nice. It was fun.
It says 3 to 7 players, but we found if we just split up all 7 players, and I played 4 players and she played 3, and it was still worked good. So I got a mystery text message on my birthday from someone that wasn't in my contacts saying happy birthday. And so I had a little fun trying to figure out who it was.
If you follow Mr. Pold on Facebook,
oh yeah,
how does that work? You're a friend on Facebook. You follow on Twitter, right?
I don't want all our listeners to friend me. I'm not going to accept their friendship. Oh. Just kidding.
Anyways, he had.
I've got 3 listeners that I friended, and that's it. That's cap. Okay.
There's more than that. But some of them are overlap with other friend lists.
I only know from them being fans of the show.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yes. Let's see. Yeah, at one point I asked them what they were doing on my birthday, and they said they were going to a boring meeting. So I asked them what he was going to be digging.
Nice.
Yeah. So I figured if it was someone that knew me well enough to know it was my birthday, then they ought to know me well enough that I'm going to make jokes.
It's better even if they don't.
Yeah.
I make jokes the other way. Jokes is jokes.
I did find out who it was, and I was like, oh yeah. Just didn't have in my contact list on my phone. Well, should we move on?
Let's do it.
Expecting a shorter episode this week, right?
Yes. It took us a while to get going.
Yes. So for Tech Nerded Culture today, I decided to combine St. Jimmy's segment and mine.
Smart.
And
I just crossed him off of everything.
Yes, I see that. So I was going to talk about, I think the company is called Loon.
That's in the bird?
As in short for balloon.
Oh. Mine's the ball.
Yeah, they dropped the ball.
It's ambiguous. It's like that's what their intent of their company name is.
They've got a loony idea, and it just might work. So Loon started in 2011 as part of the Google X, the ambitious projects. It was one of their ambitious projects. And basically, it's a way to provide internet to a large area. So, and they spent the time between 2011 and now figuring out, solving all the problems, and they tested it a bunch of times in Nevada. Going to provide internet to 2,000 square miles of central Kenya next year. And so the way it works is they have this large, like, volleyball court site for man flies.
You can put it higher though.
Oh, that's true.
If you wanted to. Knock out cell service.
Holding the loon to the balloon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuts it in half.
You know there's not a cable coming from it down
there's not?
to each house.
How do they get it to floating away?
They have some special technology.
Oh.
Yes, I thought this was interesting. So they've used machine learning to make their software smart. So
like
the software, yes, and it's in the sky too.
Oh, and it's kind of a net.
There's no net involved.
The internet.
Oh, the internet. There you go.
It's a sky internet.
It's a sky
internet.
Skynet. It's here. It's in Kenya. Well, it will be next year.
At least it can't get out of Kenya. Right?
They could circumnavigate the globe.
What? They did this here. It's like their internet.
Can you get internet there? Yes, you knew that was coming.
Good one.
Anyway, the software is able to figure out where the different jet streams are, or wind. What do they call them?
Jet stream.
Currents, air currents.
Air current.
They have a special
That's the
fan.
Word for it.
That is the current word for it. They have a fan, and the name of the fan, guess what it is? They named the fan
Dat?
France. As in Hans and Franz, we're here to pump you up.
That's awesome.
What the fan does is it moves air into and out of this outer balloon as to act as a ballast, so it will flow up or down to catch different air currents.
Okay.
That will keep it generally directly over the top of the area they're trying to cover.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Uh-oh, my phone turned off. Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm just going to say that they don't have any plans beyond Kenya, but it sounds like a project that could work in other areas. Instead of having satellite internet, you just have these balloons floating up in the sky.
That's really cool. It's cheaper than satellites.
Yeah.
Dude, we can't get satellites in orbit just by inflating a balloon.
Huh.
Get it really tall, high, and then just fire rockets that just push it a little bit left.
That'd be kind of like the idea of having like a space shuttle on the back of an airplane.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like a little pod on the back
NASA
of it.
or Google X, get on it.
I bet somebody's thought of it. Or like taking a really heavily shielded thing and just exploding nuclear bombs under it, blasting into the air. That was an idea someone had.
Yeah, should we launch them only from our enemies' airspace? No.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? We don't have any enemies. Just kidding.
Enemy of the state.
Isn't that a Blink 182 album?
I think it is.
Good band, Blink 182.
Yes, they named themselves Blink 182 because Blink was already taken, so they just added a cool number on the back.
I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
We did. Call back.
All right, that's it for Technerdiculture.
All right, well, I've got 2 news stories.
Two? You're overdoing it, man.
So this involves a group that I have most of their albums that I knew existed.
Oh,
in fact, I bought this album along with the 2020.
New Kids on the Block?
No. I have none of theirs.
Oh, okay.
But I bought this, one of their CDs, the same time I bought 2020, Sons of Soul CD, at Target in California. First 2 CDs I ever bought. It was Calling Me Bad.
You know what my first 3 CDs I ever bought was?
U2, U2, and U2.
Wrong.
S3 is one of them?
No. In Excess Kick.
Okay, that's a good one.
Def Leppard Retroactive.
That's also good.
And Code Red by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
That's also a good one. I like all those. So, apparently 2 members of the band, or Call Me Band, are still performing.
Oh, under the name?
Yes. Well, one of them, Mark Calderon, is one of the Call Me Band singers, was on a concert with his bandmate, I guess. He called it a band. I don't know. They don't have instruments, but whatever.
They're a boy band.
Well, no, they're a little bit older than boys when they started.
They're still considered a boy band.
Are they?
Yes.
No.
Yes. It's okay. No. It's okay. You can like a boy band.
No, boy bands are like fabricated by...
Oh, so you hate the Monkees?
No.
They're a boy band.
Yes, I just don't think that these guys are a boy band.
Okay.
They're more like Usher.
I disagree.
The hip-hop.
Okay. Anyway,
So Mark Calderon is on stage finishing a song. His bandmate had been drinking before the concert, and he was kind of concerned about that.
Oh.
Nope. Sounds like he has a substance abuse problem. They've been friends since high school, and they've been traveling.
Which is like 30 years ago for them.
I think they're in their late 40s.
So
they're not much older than us.
I was right.
So he's just finishing his concert, and his friend apparently they were having issues, I guess, because his friend Abrams charged on stage and shoved him off the stage into the sound equipment.
Oh.
And then left. Well, he finished, apologized to the audience, the stunned audience of people.
The guy that shoved him off?
No, the guy that
got shoved off. Left. Okay.
He extricated himself. Yeah, he extricated himself from the equipment, apologized to him. Then as he's heading off the stage, he realized his neck and his back were
broken
really, really badly. So he went to the hospital. I don't think anything was broken.
Oh, well, that's good.
He has really bad back pain. And the police showed up and arrested his friend. For, where was it?
Class B misdemeanor.
Was that one there? Oh, there you go. For attempted assault in the 3rd degree, which is a Class B misdemeanor, wherever they were at. I think
so did we ever find out why?
They were in New York.
Oh, so when you're in New York, you shove your bandmates off the stage?
Well, he noticed during the concert that he was like messing up words and stuff with some of the songs.
Calderon was?
No,
Abrams?
Abrams was the inebriated fellow.
And that made him upset?
Well, then he left the stage for some reason. He's like, usually when he leaves the stage, he's going to go talk to the sound guy because there's something sounds wrong with that, or it's going to do something else like that. But he never came back, so he just finished the show because Calderon's all about giving the audience
what they get paid for.
What they paid for. And he's
good on you, man.
Yeah, I like him just from reading this article. So he's hoping that through getting arrested, that his friend might get some help. For those that don't know Call Me Bad, they had a number 2 overall Billboard Hot 100 hit in 1981. I Want to Sex You Up. And they also had 2 other ones that hit number 1 in 91 and 92, which was I Adore Me and More and All for Love, which are 2 of my favorites. So yeah.
I think we played the All for One at my wedding, didn't we?
I think we did. So anyways, he's got more shows scheduled, so he's going to continue to fulfill his obligations and do the shows.
Solo
by himself until his friend gets out of jail, I guess. I didn't look up research to see what happened to the rest of the guys. Because the last album I bought of theirs was in 1996. Self-titled Call Me Bad album. I think since then they're probably just performing the songs they have. I think I have 4 of their albums.
Wow.
I'm what you might call a fan.
Yes, I believe you are.
I remember having the tape and listening to it. Like to this day, if I hear "Roll the Dice," I have to finish it in song.
Don't think twice.
Yes, which is one of their songs. So the next show, which is in 3 days, is at the Indiana Grand Casino in Shelbyville, Indiana.
I don't think I'll be making it.
I know. I guess this incident happened in New York City, or not New York City, in New York State, but not the city. Anyways, I didn't know that I'm going to have to keep an eye out and see if I can go catch for a show when they come to Zimbabwe.
Yeah, it was kind of sad when Calderon exploded. Oh wait, that's Calderon. He got shoved off the stage and exploded.
Oh no, I might have to make a picture of that now.
Color me shoved. Nice.
You see the next one?
Okay.
So, recently CERN announced that they recorded some particles traveling faster than light.
Which particles?
They were some kind of particles, neutrinos.
Oh.
They actually showed up, they sent some neutrinos from near Geneva to Gran Sasso in Italy, and they arrived 60 nanoseconds quicker than if it had been light.
Were they traveling through atmosphere, or was it a vacuum?
I don't know, but they got there faster than the light for the same medium, whatever it is.
So did they have the Cherenkov radiation?
I don't know.
You didn't pay attention last week, did you?
I did. I looked for it in this little. I only had a snippet of the article. They have the big collider thing, right?
Because I would assume the light would travel a tiny bit slower in air compared to a vacuum. But the neutrinos don't usually interact with
What the
matter.
light does? So the light would slow down?
Yeah, so the light would slow down. Because that's what happened with the ice in the ice cube in Antarctica.
So here's a quote from one of the scientists.
Okay.
It is a tiny difference, said Erudittato, who also works at Bern University in Switzerland. But conceptually, it is incredibly important. The finding is so startling that, for the moment, everyone should be very prudent.
I'd like him to explain what's startling about it, because if it is actually startling, then I may not understand what's happening.
That's possible.
Because it doesn't read it. But of course, we're getting this through the lens of some internet writer who's writing it, dumbing it down for the masses. So.
Well, it does have quotes from scientists in it.
Well, yeah. They're probably dumbing it down too.
But and the scientists should, they're just like, well, it is what it is. We'll just work with it.
So maybe the concept...
Break the speed of light.
In quotes.
In quote, speed of light.
So
they're faster than light.
One of the problems I have with news articles is the title is misleading a lot of times. Because, so that paragraph, Einstein's theory of special relativity says nothing can travel faster than the speed of light in a vacuum, because photons, light particles, you just scroll past it, have no mass. Proof that neutrinos, mysterious subatomic particles which have a tiny amount of mass, can travel faster would be inconsistent with Einstein's theory. So they use words like would be.
Right. And that's not a quote from the scientist, so...
So sometimes I try to find the original scientific paper.
That sounds like it would be a good idea.
And see if that's what they're actually saying. Because the title would have you think that Einstein's theory of relativity is out the window because they've been able to travel faster than light.
Lots of times also on these articles you get scientists in the comment section. So sometimes that's helpful too. If you can try to find which ones are which. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. I just marvel at how science is always moving forward, and lots of times things that we think we understand, like the smallest particle we can find, keeps on getting smaller and smaller.
Yes.
It's fun. And that's the news.
Well, thanks.
Plus it looks really cool.
Yeah. What's next? Consumption?
Yes.
So, since I watched Hobbit #1 last week, this week I watched Hobbit #2, Desolation of Smog.
Do you guys own those?
No, we're getting them from the Netflix DVD rental mailing thing. It's kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of cool because it has Martin Freeman as Bilbo, and then it has Benedict Cumberbatch as Smog, and they're interacting during the movie.
It's just kind of like their roles basically in Sherlock, right?
Not quite.
Pretty close.
I'm pretty sure Watson's not looking for the, what do they call that, the Heartstone or something? Yeah, no. Arkenstone?
Just saying connections could be made.
Maybe Watson feels like he's invisible sometimes when he's with Sherlock.
And Sherlock definitely is like a dragon.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Cold and calculating.
Are dragons cold? Because they have that fire breath thing.
I think it makes other things warm, not them.
Oh, okay. I don't know, his belly looks really red right before he's about to shoot fire. I did start reading The Hobbit.
I have tried on both of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and it seems like they put like songs in the beginning that I just can't get past.
Just what you do is you skip past it to the next paragraph.
Oh, I should do that probably.
Yeah, don't try to sing it and then get frustrated and put the book down. Like, I could never sing that passage. I don't know what the tune is.
What you have to do is you get to that point, you have to take the syllables, break those down, and see how many syllables are in a stanza.
Okay, you gotta just skip it, otherwise you'll never make it.
What songs that matches up with. Then you gotta sing all the songs that are appropriate to see which one makes the most sense. Then you gotta try to pronounce the words. And there's apostrophes in the middle of words. Like, how do I do that? It's like T'Pau in Star Trek, or
so the song the dwarfs sing is kind of long, so you might have to even turn the page to get past it. So
could I just rip those pages out?
No, because it's not. They don't take up the whole page. I mean, there's other words on it.
Oh, when I started, I thought this is going to be the whole book.
Probably not. I actually got 2 copies of the book because one of my favorite things.
This isn't nerd cred. This is consumption.
I know. So one
in
of
the
my
original 1978 version. Click on page 436.
I did show you the 70 something word.
The cover, yeah.
And the cover was very odd.
Wow, I didn't know hobbits were that fat.
Well, it says in the book that they are fat.
The movie didn't show that.
There's lots of differences between the movie and the book. Anyway, I like going to thrift shops to look for books because there's one in town that has them for 50 cents a piece.
I need to go there. I've never been in there.
And so I went in there and I found The Hobbit. There was actually 2 copies, and I picked the one that was less damaged. They both were damaged to some extent. Well, then later on in the day, I went to another thrift store in a different city, and I found a really nice version of The Hobbit, so I bought that one for like $2.
That's pretty reasonable still.
Yes.
It's cheaper than the DVD.
Probably. Most likely. The other thing I saw in the theater, it was called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, I won't spoil it, but it's really good. Lots of laughs.
It
Paul
seems like
Rudd's
my
pretty
kind
funny.
of. Yeah, it seems like my kind of.
If you like the first one, this one's. I might have liked this one more than the first one, but I don't know.
Ragnarok, would you like this one?
I think so.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Of course, you have to, suspend disbelief.
What? In a movie?
A superhero movie?
At least it's not like back when they just had stage
Like,
plays.
wait, do they keep their masks or do they not when they shrink?
Sometimes it depends.
It just depends on the situation.
Yes. It's psychically controlled.
Oh, there you go. Has to do with the quantum world or something.
Has to do, yeah, with electrons in their brain as they change sizes. What they're thinking at the moment changes their mass or not.
Yep. That's fact. All right, what do you got?
So I watched last night A New Hope.
Oh, is that a new film?
It's a Star Trek film. No, I'm just kidding.
Star Trek film?
No, it's Star Wars.
Oh,
the OG.
I think I saw that back in 1977.
Yes, it's very good. I remember watching the parts with Princess Leia thinking, and they think strong female characters are a new thing? Huh.
Yeah, she called someone laser brain. I don't know if she called him that in that movie. Maybe
she said someone had a foul stench.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty strong.
Yeah. It made me weird that I paused it when Aunt Beru and Uncle Ben were charred remains, trying to determine which one was which.
It is kind of strange.
Is that strange? I didn't even know that was there.
Is it strange that I didn't realize that's what those things were when we were children?
I didn't either. Now you can get action figures.
Yes, David and I watched A New Hope every day after school in 1982.
Maybe it wasn't on the TV release version which we taped.
Thinking back,
if it was there,
I remember seeing it. I just didn't know what it was.
It seemed like they showed it once, and then on the DVD or the one I was watching, anyways, they went back and showed it closer up.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they just didn't have that.
I didn't realize what it was when we were kids watching it.
I was watching and noticed something for the first time, where he's the garage area where he first sees Leia and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting that to the rest of the building is a walkway that looks like it's suspended above something.
Oh.
It's like a catwalk.
On the catwalk.
I've watched it and I'm thinking as an engineer that's done architectural type stuff, like, how is this?
Why?
Where are they at?
Yeah.
I think look at the ceiling of where they're eating in the dining room. It was like different color, and it's like made out of stone or whatever. But it's got like different color hieroglyphic stuff on it. But then starting at a certain point, it's like whitewashed. I was like, did they take some like painted cave thing in Tunisia and actually whitewash the walls?
Maybe
they did.
What you need to do is you need to design your own space station from scratch. It's fun. I've done it.
I've done that actually.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah, I had the spherical space station that had deck plates that make it so that anti-gravity, or not false gravity, basically. And so if you went from one side to the other, you were upside down from the other side of the ship. And I was even going so far as looking up like how much square footage you need per person for like food growth and animal production. I went way overboard, and then I had like.
Did you make like compartment and access drawings showing all the different compartments and?
I started laying out, just like
labeling the compartments.
So I figured about my population that I'd be based on engineer, worker, upper management, and then figured out how much square footage each person got depending on their family size. Randomized the family sizes, so it's kind of approximate, and then started drawing the architectural plans for each of the apartments.
See, I did mine based on if they were officers or enlisted.
Oh, mine had military personnel on board, but they were piggybacking on a private venture. Oh. This is from one of my books.
Yeah, well, this one was for my book. But
once again, we're not nerd grid.
So my idea was the space station started out as one that had to rotate to produce gravity, but then at some point they discovered how to make artificial gravity without spinning it. So then they changed it. They retrofitted the station so that instead of the the walls became floors to an extent. Right. It was very tricky.
I remember my book. I wrote a scene that was like at a tech expo where it was first introduced the anti-gravity panels, and the guy's booth, he just didn't tell anyone, just showed up and then had the panels on the wall. And when people were walking by, he just like laid on his back and then had like a little emoji from the wall and then just walked up the wall. And at other points, he had like things parked on the wall. And I tried to write it from like a tech reporter perspective. Anyway, it was fun.
Cool. What else do you want?
I just thought of another cool idea.
Oh, what's that?
We're playing D&D, right?
Yes.
What if we took the exact thing, but instead of putting it in fantasy history,
put it in science fiction?
Yeah. Elves and dwarves and everything, but in the future.
Oh, see, I have thought of creating one that has to do with our home Earth universe, which
that'd be cool.
Writing my
you could build modules that do that. There's all kinds of ones out there. There's Star Wars ones.
Because instead of different races, you have the different, like instead of elves, men, and dwarves and stuff, you have the different.
Oh, right.
People that live on the different planets.
Or you could do like I did in my book and just make races in the D&D world that match up with your space races.
So I developed 2 alien species for my books. One of them more in depth than the other one, but those would be cool to play.
Yeah, those would be cool. Yeah, it'd be fun to role play it too, right? Yeah. Because I actually made my main Bigfoot character. I made a D&D character out of, and then I played as him. It was fun.
Cool.
I've only played as a character once in D&D. That was when my youngest son was DMing for us just for like an hour.
Yeah.
All right, so back to consumption. I watched a TV show on Amazon Prime called Goliath.
I think I've
Billy Bob Thornton.
I didn't watch it, but I saw it on there.
He's a lawyer who, at this point, has been kicked out of his big billion-dollar lawyer firm.
Okay.
So he's living in a hotel, and then gets talked into taking a lawsuit against the main large client for his old law firm. Because the guy that was out on a boat that worked for this military contractor firm just blew up to the point that it caused a wave that sank another boat.
Oh.
And they were saying that he committed suicide, and they were trying to sue for damages, saying that he didn't commit suicide, that he was killed by the company's negligence. Anyways, I'm now in season 2, where there's a capital murder case he's been convinced to try. So it's basically a David versus Goliath setup with the lawyer being the underdog against. Like at one scene, it's like him and a real estate lawyer, and his law clerk is like somebody he represented at one point. And they have another law clerk that was supposed to take her place, but then they're both working for him. And then at one point they showed the lawyer firm for the big, huge firm, and they had like 60 lawyers in a room with computers just trying to tear apart the character of the witnesses and things, like digging up all kinds of dirt. So it's interesting. So check that out. Billy Bob Thornton's pretty good in it. Everyone else is pretty good too. And then I bought and watched The Mummy.
Tom Cruise or
no,
Brendan
old
Fraser?
school Brendan Fraser.
Oh.
I forgot how much I love that movie. And I actually convinced one of my kids to watch it.
Oh.
Which 2 of them were like, I don't watch scary movies. I was like, it's from the 90s. How scary could it be?
It's got Brendan Fraser. How scary can it be?
They don't know who he is.
Oh, okay.
It's like, how scary could it be? It's from the 90s. It's like old. It's like 20 years old. It can't be scary.
So was it scary?
There's parts.
Oh.
I don't like the scarabs.
Oh.
In fact, it terrifies me enough that when I wrote that horror short story, and like there's stuff going underneath the skin you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from that.
Oh.
Stuff with nightmares.
Sounds like it.
Seems like I watched something else, but I can't remember what it was. So we'll stop there.
Oh.
I don't know if I talked about watching episode 3 of Star Wars last week. I guess we will.
I think you might have.
Nope.
I watched the first few episodes of Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger.
It's a new Marvel TV series.
Oh, what's that on?
I might have watched it on Netflix.
Okay.
I don't remember. No, it was on Hulu.
Oh, is it on the paid one or the free side?
Well, we have the paid one.
Oh, we don't have the paid one.
So maybe it's on the paid one.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll watch anymore. It was okay.
That was like me on the.
I was like waiting for it to get good, and it.
That was like me in the one where they kept on catching the bad guy and letting him go because they couldn't kill him. It's like there's other things you can do.
Yeah.
Have you not seen Lost? Or no, not Lost, Heroes. Where they put a guy that never can die into it and buried him or something.
Oh yeah.
Then he got dug up centuries later and weird turned into that supervillain.
All right, let's do nerd cred.
All right.
So I got to thinking about birthdays.
I had those.
You have birthdays?
I had them.
Oh. And
we'll have to wait and see if the next one happens.
So, I was thinking about how the rotation of the Earth takes 365.2425 days.
Hence leap year?
Yes. And so I was wondering, how does leap year affect your birthday? And so I made a spreadsheet. And I plugged it in that I could...
What's a spreadsheet?
So you start with your date and time of birth, and then it adds 365.2425 days onto that time.
Oh, to see when your next birthday would be?
Yes. And so
you can see through your entire life? You could drag it down to it like when you're down to 400 years old?
Yeah. In fact, I'll get to that in a minute. So I plugged my thing in there, and I noticed that most of the time my actual birthday is the day before I've been celebrating it. Because I was born the year before leap year.
Oh, what happens if you're born on leap year?
It depends.
Like on leap day?
I don't know. I haven't tried
Plug that in, I'll see.
Anyway, I got your and St. Jimmy's birth time from our mother, and I plugged those into the spreadsheet. And St. Jimmy's, his mostly is on the same day. Yours is kind of half and half.
Goes into the next month.
But it's because you were born between leap years. And he was born a year after leap year.
Can I just say that I'm very happy that our mother no longer calls me at the time of my birth to wish me happy birthday?
So, and I did do what you said. I dragged it down to see when the next time my birthday will be on the actual day I celebrate it.
So does it matter what time of... I guess it does matter what time of day.
It does a little bit.
So what you need to do is you make a chart, iterative chart or something that then charts so you can see the most... What day you'd have to be born at what time to maximize that being your birthday most of the time.
Don't get me started. Anyway, I figured out that in the year 2102 is the next time my birthday will actually be on the birth date.
It's probably a good thing that don't let engineers run the world. I'm just saying.
Anyway.
Like, there's like 3 major professions, right? Where you have to have a professional degree to do it. Like there's doctors, lawyers, and engineers. There's lots of doctors and lots of lawyers in politics. You don't find many engineers in politics. Like you're too smart.
That's too smart to get in politics.
Yes, which I think is we need more engineers in politics. I think.
Okay.
Probably not all of them.
So do you have nerd cred?
I'm trying to think.
I have some other nerd cred.
I'm being loaned to a different department at work. That basically I'm just bumping back to in front of being a lead position. I'm now just a grunt doing drafting. They're getting paid the same. So But I could see how, I don't know. I'm very comfortable where I am as a lead.
Yeah.
I understand all this stuff like very well, and I'm delving into different systems and things.
You're seeing the kind of stuff that I work on.
Right.
Is that your nerd cred? Because I have more nerd cred.
Well, I made a list today of just D&D appropriate human names. So if I have a non-player character that pops up, I can not be on the spot and name them Jim or Bob, which I've done.
There you go.
I can have actually. So I got a list of first names and last names, and I put them in Excel, and then was saying in my mind, the first name, then trying to save last names until one sounded good, and then we'll drag it over. I have too many last names still. So I put female names in there, and they did the same thing with the leftover names. And then I still have some last names left over, so I'm going to start writing in my own first names. Maybe based on Friends, but twisted a little bit, so like fantasy sounding.
When I was coming up for the name of my main character for the novel that I'm still haven't published yet, I wanted a one-syllable name, and so I basically went through all the different possibilities for having a one-syllable name until I found one that I liked.
I do have my name generator I can run things through where it pops out and logically decides if that a constant or it decides for a valve the next one. Which I've got some good names out of that.
Yeah. So my other nerd cred is my wife for my birthday bought me a t-shirt that says load asterisk comma 8 comma 1.
Yeah.
And so I wore that on my birthday.
You're talking to the guy that watched the 4-hour YouTube
yes, I am.
80s instructional video of the Commodore 64 and enjoyed it.
I considered it my Commodore 64 detector shirt. If someone knew what it was, then I knew that they owned a Commodore 64 when they were younger.
Smart.
And it worked.
It's superior PC computer back then. Did full color graphics.
It was very
did
popular.
Sound. Yeah, it's great. It was way better than the whatever crappy Apple Mac machines that were around. And cheaper.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I sound like the sales video.
And when you drop it, the screen doesn't crack. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You're trying to get more hate mail?
Yes.
No, but my dislike for Apple goes far back. So
I don't have a dislike for Apple. I just have a like for teasing Apple owners.
I have that like also.
Or anybody else that takes the product they like too seriously. We didn't look for any feedback, but I do have a shout out.
Oh, okay.
One of the guys that plays on my softball team, I found out today that he's been listening to the show.
I know you were talking near where I was sitting to him, and I was sitting there waiting. Is he gonna? Oh, we might want to meet one of the other people on the show.
There's the other engineer right here. I thought about it after I walked out the door. I'm like, oh well.
That's fine.
I just figured that he might know you.
But once again, people that I introduce myself to before they know, they act a little bit strange until I tell them that if they've met you before. Like, oh, that makes sense. Your voice and just the way you.
I had people tell me that, oh yeah, I think it's the lead that you're working for came over like right after your first day, after you came over. He's like, oh, I just realized that your brother's working over there now. He's like, you guys are just alike.
That's what I've heard.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, we did share a room for 16 years of our lives.
Yes, we did. Oh, and
once he stopped trying to kill me, we got along great.
Brian said the same thing to me at the softball game. He said, you and your brother are just exactly alike. I'm like, I've been told that before. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, and so I was trying not to let it slip in my office that it was my birthday, because some people there have weird ideas that you're supposed to bring donuts in when it's your birthday.
Oh yes, the donut offense. All of our old people retired, and so no one does that anymore.
Oh, I'm still waiting for our old person to retire so we can stop.
I miss the donuts, honestly.
Oh, do you? Well, I can blame the donuts for my roundness in the middle.
Like a donut.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Anyway, hole, I guess.
So I went through the whole day, nobody knowing it's my birthday. I even went into my Facebook settings and
changed your birthday?
No, I don't have my birthday in there.
Oh.
But I knew people were going to post about my birthday, so I went in there and I made it so that the people in my office would not get any notifications of things on my wall for that day. So and then I go to the softball game, which is on my birthday, and apparently my wife let it slip that it was my birthday.
Of course she did.
So I think I was running, I hit the ball good and was running to first, and she's like, go Leo, it's your birthday. And someone turns around like, is it really his birthday? And she's like, no. They're like, really? Is it really? He's like So they sing happy birthday to me after the game is over.
Excellent.
And I'm like, obviously they're not familiar with the In Living Color sketch that has, go, it's your birthday. With the booty can.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm familiar with that.
Yes, I know you were.
I would have laughed if I was there.
All right, well, if you want to contact us, send an email to enginerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Listen to the show on iTunes and leave a review. And the Stitcher Radio app also has us, I think, still. Or you can go to theenginerdyshow.com.
All one word.
Yes. Yes, there are 2 E's in a row at one point in that .com. You can support the show by clicking on any Amazon banner on our website. And anything you buy in that session benefits our show.
We can get some more chairs.
Maybe we could get some good chairs. So, live long and nerdy.
You have been and always shall be my friends. It's St. Jimmy's.
Sup, nerds? I don't know. I don't think he's Beaker, though. I guess Beaker has got higher pitched.
Yeah, that was
Honeydew. Well, if he's Beaker, that makes you Honeydew.
What's Honeydew?
The doctor.
Everyone knows an animal.
The green head. No eyes, but glasses.
Is that his name?
I think his name's Honeydew.
Okay. I feel like we're more like the guys in the balcony now.
At times. Alright, so... Oh, St. Jimmy's still gonna produce this, right? So
I think so. So he might listen.
So he might... Oh, yeah.
He can add his ending if he wants.
Well, he can take this part and put it as the... after the credits.
I like how our droid right here is about to assassinate whatever legless person is sitting there.
It's Legolas?
It's Legolas!
I don't think that's Legolas.
Alright, cool. Well, since we live stream this, is it just going to automatically go up there?
I don't know. I have no clue.
This is what happens when he's gone.
When he's gone, we don't know what to do.
Alright, should we end the show now?
Yes, the end show is ending.
Alright, I'm clicking stop
down
now. And
stop
now.
I think you still have to stop the video.
Oh, what's it doing?
It does that every time.
How do you stop the video?
I don't know. Click on something.
I'm clicking on stuff.
No, click up there.